There are many contentions made in this review about Full Metal Jacket symbolism that I am only partially convinced of. And some of those contentions, I admit, are basically guesswork. However, I hope that you can appreciate the spirit of exploration with which I have conducted my research. Unravelling a Kubrick film requires an imaginative approach of free association followed by meticulous cross-referencing and elimination. The surface narratives of all Kubrick's films since 2001: A Space Odyssey have been deceptive illusions. They were cover stories designed to protect Kubrick's own reputation and hence secure his lucrative contracts with the studios. So I figured zombie films is the way to go. They sell, they're very popular, and it doesn't seem to matter whether they're any good or not. Perhaps he knew that it would take decades for audiences to even scratch the surface of his film's true meanings. But the fact that he devoted his life to creating these stunningly intricate pieces of art shows that he believed that audiences could eventually unravel them. And I thought with this one, I'll try and use a multiple narrative approach where there's many stories being told at the same time. He made films like he played chess, with skill, patience, cunning, and absolute secrecy of his true intentions.
There are many messages in this film, so I've been told. Rob's got there's a secret list of things that none of us have been allowed to see.
Maybe we can unlock some of that Kubrickian intellect in ourselves through our own disciplined study of his films.
And where did you draw your inspiration from for this film?
The films of Stanley Kubrick, definitely. I've been studying his films for years now and writing reviews of them online. That Kubrick seems to have he put a lot of things into his films which gradually emerged to audiences over many years, even after his death. People are finding new things in his films that seem to have bypassed their attention when the movies first came out. And he seems to have done that in a way that I don't think I've ever come across any other filmmaker who's managed it on such a level of complexity and sophistication. So I was quite inspired by the way Kubrick managed to do that.
Hello folks, it's Blood Runs Clear. I normally make fake movie trailers by editing together other materials, but I thought I'd do something a little different for a change. Rob Ager and his collative learning project has fascinated me ever since I stumbled across it looking for a scholarly approach to the works of Stanley Kubrick. Other works do exist investigating the symbolism of his films, but they tend to be like the documentary Room 237, which postulates that each theory is equally valid, although some clearly are not.
All the symbols in the movie start overlap in the superimposition, backwards forwards superimposition. The murdered twins are overlaid across Jack's face, and it looks like he looks like a clown, and makes like a clown mask. You know, there's blood everywhere, and like blood on his lips.
Yeah, anyway. With a little of my characteristically obsessive scrounging, I determined that not only did Rob have multiple subjects beyond film he tackled with his deliberate and heavily researched style, but he had also made several films himself, shorts and one much longer and consciously symbolic and subliminally heavy production called Turn in Your Grave.
He knows far too much about me. I don't want anyone getting the idea that this fella's just a harmless nobody.
So, what have we learned? Is this a dream?
I know that I woke up in a room, I don't know where I am, I don't know who these people are.
A game usually has rules. There's no rules here.
You know, any minute now, someone's gonna come through those doors.
Maybe this is the way out.
Eventually we're gonna have to go out there. Find a way out of this place.
We must all have something in common that's made us end up here. So what is it?
You're not right. This situation isn't right, and you aren't right.
Who are these people?
a director-edited trailer featuring classical music, flashing words serving as meta-commentary, and flash cuts to scenes in the film. Reminds me of another famous trailer. Speaking of Kubrick, it strikes me as ironic that there hasn't really been an investigatory, collative learning style look at the symbolism and deliberate continuity errors, hidden images, and messages in Turn in Your Grave itself. Coincidence, improvisation, the challenges of making a low-budget film, and of course twists of fate might lead to misconstrued clues and unintentional occurrences throughout Turn in Your Grave, but I am certain that Ager at least set out to make several calculated motifs, themes, and directorial resolutions to create a meta-narrative. At least one.
I started the script about a year ago, but the idea had been floating around in my head for about a year before that, but I didn't really have the money or the time to do it back then. Once the resources started becoming available, I wrote different versions of the script, and as I kept rewriting it, more and more themes were getting built into it.
At the very least, I am thankful to the creator for his inspirational seminars and consent for my scrutiny of this intricate art piece that he's created, Turn in Your Grave. This is not an explanation, just my exploration. Let's begin with an examination of the cover. I picked up a digital copy of the film, but I imagine, like Kubrick, the decisions and symbology of Turn in Your Grave will begin with deliberate choices involving the tagline and DVD cover / promotional poster. An example of Kubrick's choices creating an impression of the film's themes from the get-go is the helmet featured on the poster for Full Metal Jacket, which incorporates several aspects of the major characters. So let's take a look at Turn in Your Grave. The DVD cover reveals one of the most iconic masks of one of the zombie assailants in the film. This of course hints at the genre, if the title didn't give it away, but curiously there's a possible intentional inconsistency immediately present as well. The mask is displayed as having only one eye. In all versions of this particular image, the right eye is covered by what appears to be a piece of duct tape. It may be a Photoshop decision, but it seems a little too deliberate to be a stylistic happenstance or a mistake. The demon creature in the film with the mask closest to this version has two eyes. In fact, more than that in one memorable scene. So it seems curious to omit one eye so consciously. Perhaps this is an immediate indication of altered perceptions, or the act of not seeing from certain perspectives, which seems to be one of the many running themes of the film. He also looks a little like Frank the Rabbit from Donnie Darko, but that might indeed be a coincidence. Other interesting choices is the tagline, "Don't be afraid, it's just a movie." Most famously, a tagline similar to this was used in the promotion of the film Last House on the Left.
To avoid fainting, keep repeating, "It's only a movie, only a movie, only a movie."
Despite the low budget of the production, the violence in this film seemed very realistic thanks to the directing of Wes Craven. I wonder if Rob Ager is paying homage to an influence here. It's also the first of many indications to come of the meta-narrative. This movie is aware that it's a movie.
Calm down, dear. It's a commercial. I'm only acting. I'm really a very good driver.
Ager has expressed in previous collative learning videos a disdain for tropes in fiction, but an appreciation for narratives which dissect these cliches.
What we're watching is a parody of all those gung-ho war movies that show battlefields as a wild macho adrenaline ride.
Hey, start the cameras! This is Vietnam, the movie! Yeah, don't...
I think there is a wealth of evidence that Turn in Your Grave is not only a fine horror film in its own right, but is also the director-writer's commentary on the horror genre as a whole.
Although there's lots and lots of zombie films out there, I find most of them are just trying to imitate what's been done before, and they're not really going anywhere new thematically. You might get some new feature like, oh, here's a new zombie film that's got zombies that run fast. So I wanted to take the whole zombie genre and give it completely new meanings, as if it's a fresh genre all over again.
Going back to the first trailer, let's take a look at those words that flash momentarily. Bear in mind, like Kubrick before him, Rob Ager has deliberately chosen these words himself. Even before the movie starts, Rob is starting to play word and mind games. Consider how some of these words are deliberately misspelled in order to represent other words within themselves. Using a lowercase d emphasizes the word Rama in drama, perhaps. The word puzzle-ing is misspelled deliberately so that the word puzzle can be read. Independent seems to be spaced in such a way that there are two words instead of one word. Of more immediately understandable meaning, experimental is spaced in such a way that the word mental is created. Cryptic, perhaps, is written in such a way that the word crypt is emphasized. Crypt? Zombies? It's a possibility. It only appears for a few frames, but the addition of the E creates hypnotic. Written this way, the word original splits into two words, origin, all. Surreal emphasizes the embedded word real. Ironically, I considered this word initially to be the word subliminal, but it is in fact, on closer inspection, subminimal. In other words, below average. I wonder if this is another commentary by Ager on the zombie genre, in addition to the final word, parasitic.
Although there's lots and lots of zombie films out there, I find most of them are just trying to imitate what's been done before, and they're not really going anywhere new. It doesn't seem to matter whether they're any good or not.
And finally, the most generic word of all gets its own strange little addition. Zombies becomes zombies, as in insects that fly around to make honey. And let's finish the analysis of this trailer by examining the fact that there are several words that have question marks and only one that has an exclamation mark. Lights, camera, action. I don't believe in this instance that these choices are a mistake or a coincidence, because there is a meta-narrative throughout Turning Your Grave about films and filmmaking. After all, it's only a movie. Already it's clear that Rob Ager is trying something very new and very intricate here, and we haven't even gotten to the movie proper. But unfortunately, because of copyright strikes, I have to keep this video under 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop here, but I will continue soon. I hope you guys enjoyed the opening part of what I hope to be sort of a mini-series, because this film deserves it. There's many different symbols, many different intricacies that I want to explore. I've written a script, and I hope to get the second video out pretty soon. So thank you for watching. Check out Collative Learning. Thanks to Rob for letting me do this. We've only scratched the surface, people. It's all downhill from here.